Hello guys, this is Becca and Macy and Daphne, and we are here today to do Rocking with Becca episode 2. So guys, I'm not going to promise how long this video will be. It may be long or it may be short, and I'm going to tell you why. My mind, guys, I just don't know. I just don't know about me sometimes. I have been going over when I'm gonna do a video and talk about something before. I don't like rehearse it, word for word, but in my mind I'm going over what I'm gonna be saying, and I guess everybody does that, and I have been, while I was getting dressed all morning, I've been going over and over in my mind different things, what I was, going to talk about, and what I was going to say, and all of that. And so I come in here and started the video and realized I didn't have my notebook with me for my shout outs. And so I had to stop the video. And guys, things are never easy for me. I don't know if it's that way with everybody or if it's just me. Things are never easy for me. The simplest task that you could possibly do, it just seems like it turns into just a major something to get it started. I don't know. It didn't used to be that way. I used to could just get in there and do whatever I was doing, but even simple things like starting this video, it just seems like everything is just a major task. Maybe it's because I'm not, when I say I don't feel good, I'm not having an extra bad day. This is just my daily life. This is what I go through every day, that I just plain don't feel good. I have a lot of health issues. So I have very few days that I'm just real on top of the world, bubbly, feeling good, Now, I try to press through just the regular days of not feeling good, and I try to go on and be happy and, do videos. And it's just those days that are real bad that I just can't seem to get up a video, or if I do one, I just kind of just don't talk very well, But, today's not one of those extra bad days. Today is just a normal day of where, like I every day, don't feel good. And, but it just, and that may be why things seem so major to me, to have to go through so much to get something started. But just like forgetting my notepad, and when I sat down here and I had started the video, started talking, and realized I didn't have my notepad for my shout outs and stuff. To me, it just felt like a major issue that I had to stop the video, go get my pad, come back. But then, see, it wasn't just I had to stop the video and go in there and get my notepad. When I picked it up and turned it to my page that I have my shout outs on, I looked at it and realized the shout out I had wrote down, I was going to shout out this person, and when I was, my mind went blank there for a minute, sorry guys. When I was looking her up to find out how many subscribers she had and all, I couldn't find her channel. I looked and I looked and I looked, so I messaged her on, I think, Instagram, and asked her, did she delete her YouTube channel? That I couldn't find it anywhere. And she said no, she didn't delete it as far as the channel, but she did delete all of her videos. So I don't know if that's why I couldn't find her channel. I don't know if she unsubscribed from everybody. I don't know. But I could not find her channel. Any way I tried to find it, it wouldn't pull her channel up. And so I don't know if she maybe put it on paused and didn't know it, or did delete it and didn't realize it. But I could not find her channel at all. Well, she said that right now she wasn't going to be doing videos anymore. She deleted the few that she did have up. And so I forgot to go look for another shout out. So when I started my video, realized I didn't have my notepad, I went and got it, opened it up, and there was the channel that is not there anymore. And I had never looked up another one. So I had to take the time to look up another channel to shout out. It just seems like anything I do turns into a major task. And like I said, I don't know if it's just me or if everybody goes through that. I was trying to see how much time I've already spent rambling. But anyway, like I said, I don't know. I also had, like I was talking about, I had a topic that I was going to talk about. And I had been going over it all morning. And now that I sat down here, I was going to write so I wouldn't re-talk about it too soon. I keep notes for my Rockin' with Becca. And I write down who I'm shouting out and the topic that I'm talking on. Well, I was fixing to write down the topic I was going to talk on. All I can remember is something about peer pressure. I cannot remember what I had been going over in my mind, and I cannot remember exactly what I was going to talk about. So, here we are. This may just be a 15-20 minute video, or it may come back to me what I wanted to talk about, and it may end up being a 45-minute video. I don't know. All I know is you can look at the time on my video and see how long it is. If you'd like to pause the video and go get you something to drink, I got me a cup of Dr. Pepper. Sit back and relax, or if you need to just watch it in portions, if it ends up being long, whatever. It's something else the peer pressure I'm going to talk about. I'm going to do what I feel like doing, okay? And we'll talk about that. Which was not the whole thing I was wanting to talk about. But I'm going to get into the shout out. Oh, like I said, this is Daphne. I wanted to share her with you. She is my newest baby. Well, other than my Cabbage Patch. She's my newest Lifelike Reborn type babies. She is from Ashton Drake. She is the T for Two by Ping Lao. And I love her. She's been on pre-order since February. And she came in yesterday. Was it yesterday? Was it yesterday or was it Wednesday? No, it wasn't Thursday because that was Thanksgiving. It was Wednesday, wasn't it? Or was it? Anyway, guys, my video's up. Whatever day it was. Whatever day it was. I made one of my topics that I talk about may be on my health issues and whatnot I go through. But anyway, let me get fixed up here, guys. I can't stand to feel sorry. My shirt's all wonky and pulled sideways on me. And can't stand that. I got to have it fixed right where I'm comfortable. Sorry, guys. But anyway, let's do the shout out. I'm going to tell you the person that I'm shouting out at the beginning of the video and at the end. These are videos I watch and enjoy. And I'm trying to, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I've been drinking Dr. Pepper, and you know it's carbonated, so it makes you, burp. Anyway, girl, I can't get your foot. There you go. Now, these are videos that I watch and that I enjoy, and I'm trying to do the ones that doesn't have very many subscribers, like under 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to shout them out first, and then I will go up to, you know, the larger channels. But I want to get all of those that's under 1,000 first. And they haven't asked me to shout them out. They're not doing, as far as I know, any kind of, you know, I'm just shouting them out because I love that when people shout me out, like if they have a larger channel, I love for them to shout me out, that maybe more subscribers will come and see my, you know, come to my channel. And so that's why I'm doing the 1,000, under 1,000. It's because I'm not a big channel either. I just have a little over 1,000. But I'm trying to help those out that has less subscribers than I do, where maybe, you know, they can get more subscribers. And, you know what? I'm going to write this down as a topic. See, I have to do this, guys. I have to do this, or I will never, never, ever, ever. And see, I had a bunch of... Okay. I'm just going to put subscribers. Sorry, guys. I have to do that when something comes to mind, or I'll never remember it. It's what I should have done this morning when I started thinking on what I was going to talk about. But anyway, this channel is My Reborn Nursery, and I will have her link in the description. Her name is Tammy, and she has 681 subscribers. And if you're not already subscribed to her, I'd love for you to go over to her channel, check her out, and see if she would be a channel you would like to watch. And if so, subscribe to her. Give her some YouTube love. Let her know that I sent you over to subscribe to her. So, I will shout her out again at the end of the video. Of course, you can always go back and rewatch the video, but I want to, you know, mention them at the beginning and the end. So, one thing I wanted to talk about first is not going to really be a long topic. It's just, during the Thanksgiving holidays, I've heard a lot of people ask, what was the difference between stuffing and dressing? And I knew there was a difference, that there was different ingredients. You know, a lot of people would say, well, stuffing you put in the turkey, dressing you don't. But what is the difference in them? What ingredients? What makes them different? Because I don't just put cornbread dressing in my, you know, for stuffing, which I don't cook much anymore anyway. But I do very little cooking. But I looked it up because I was curious myself. I knew there was a difference. The texture, everything about it. I didn't know all the ingredients. I didn't know, you know, how you fix stuffing. I know how to make cornbread dressing. But I've never made, I have gotten like the box stuffing. And it's nothing like cornbread dressing. It's a total different taste, total different, you know, texture. Things like that. So I looked up a recipe for stuffing. I wanted to know exactly what is stuffing, what goes into stuffing. So when you're making a stuffing, you use bread. Not cornbread, just bread, like light bread. You cut it in cubes, or either you use stale bread, this kind of, you know, turned stale, which is hard, kind of crispy hard like, not molded, just stale. Or either you toast your bread to give it that, you know, just lightly toasted. You don't make it hard and crusty. You just lightly toast it to take the moisture out of it to make it kind of crunchy. You cut it in cubes. You don't want it where it's going to get mushy. That's why either you use stale bread or you use, like, you can buy the breadcrumb cubes, or you can just toast your bread and cut it in cubes. But it's bread. It's more like a light bread, or you know, or maybe maybe like a French bread, but it's a bread, not made from corn, but made from flour. You know, so you take that, and when you put it, you know, different people puts different seasonings, but usually thing you use like a vegetable broth from the recipes I saw. You could use like a chicken broth, but usually thing you use a vegetable broth. You put a lot of different vegetables and seasonings in it. You put onions and bell peppers and celery and garlic and all different kind of herbs and things like that, and mix it up. You don't make it mushy. You want them cubes to stay whole, which they will. Some of them will, you know, kind of break down with the moisture of the broth and all of that. But you want it to stay in chunks. So that's a dressing. And then usually that is used to go inside the turkey, or, you know, whatever you put it in. Some people just eat it on the side. They don't put it in their turkey or whatever. They'll just make it and eat it on the side. But you're using more like light bread or French bread, or a bread made with flour instead of a bread made with cornmeal. So for a cornbread dressing, you make your favorite recipe of a pan of cornbread. We call it a pan in the South. A pan of cornbread, whatever you want to call it. You make you a pan of cornbread from your favorite recipe. Usually it's homemade. You know, you don't usually use Jiffy or anything like that to make a cornbread dressing. It just wouldn't give it the right flavor. And then when that cornbread is completely done, just like if you're just going to cut it up, eat it on the side with your meals, when it's completely done, you're going to take that cornbread, let it cool, and then you're just going to smush it up into crumbles. You're going to try to get as many of the chunks out of that as you can. You're just going to crumble your cornbread up into, it's just going to be crumbles. It's going to look like, almost like the cornmeal again, except for it's cooked cornbread crumbled up. Alright, then you're going to use broth, like a chicken broth. If you don't make your own chicken broth from chicken parts, you can buy the chicken broth. You can use the chicken bouillon cubes and make your broth. You just want a good, strong chicken flavor of, you know, a broth. You got to have a lot of it because you don't want your dressing dry. So when I say I'm making a good old-fashioned cornbread dressing, and also in stuffing, there's no boiled eggs in the stuffing when you make stuffing. There is when you make a cornbread dressing. Of course, people put different things in their dressing, but the way I like to do it is I crumble my cornbread up really just as fine as I can crumble it up. I put me like a spoonful of mayonnaise in it to give it that creamy texture. I put a can of cream of chicken soup in it to give it, you know, a good creamy texture. Then I start adding my broth. I also cut up some onions in it, and I cut up boiled eggs and put in it. Just however many you want, however much you want, to your taste and your flavor. And the broth is usually really salty if you buy the store-bought broth. Now, if you make your own broth, you would have to add the seasonings to your taste to the broth. But if you buy store-bought broth or use bouillon cubes or whatever, it already has a lot of salt and seasoning in it. So I usually don't have to add, if I use the store-bought, I usually don't add anything to it. Any, you know, other kind of seasonings. But then you start adding your broth, and you just mix all of that up until it's kind of liquidy. It's going to be liquidy when you're making it. You want enough of broth in there that it is pretty liquidy, because now you're going, when you get all that mixed up, you're going to put it in the oven and bake it until the top, you don't want it real brown, but until it starts getting a little golden brown on top, and it bakes some of that moisture out. And you don't want it dry. You want it to have moisture in it, but not liquidy after you take it out of the oven. So good, guys. You add you a big old spoonful of cranberry sauce on top of it. Delicious. So that's the difference between stuffing and dressing. Stuffing is made with bread. Dressing's made with cornbread. So that's the difference. Okay, now we got that out of the way, and we're already 20 minutes in. Sorry about that, guys. I guess it is going to be long. You better grab you something to drink. Okay, so the topic today, I think this is what I could bring up in my mind after not writing it down, is peer pressure. Peer pressure about your dolls. I've discussed before about, do you think you can have too many dolls? And everybody's different. Everybody's different. That's why I want to talk about peer pressure. And I do want your opinion on this. I would love for you to either write it in the comments. I'd really love for you to do a video discussing it and how you feel about it. And tag me in it so I can not miss it. But, I mean, this is not something you have to do. It's something I'd love for you to do that I can know your opinion. But, you know, I've discussed and asked the question a lot of times, can you have too many dolls? If you are a doll collector, can you have too many dolls? And like I said, different, you know, everybody's different. You have to go according to what you feel and what is comfortable to you. But yet, on the other hand, I do like to get other people's opinions and see how they feel about it. But I don't need to let that be peer pressure to me to the point that I end up doing something I don't want to do. Okay, for an example, I watch a lot of different channels with a lot of different, like there's channels that mostly has just Ashton Drake and Paradise Galleries babies. There's channels that I watch that just has Paradise Galleries babies. There's channels that I watch that has reborns mixed in with all them other brands. There's channels I watch that has only reborns. There's channels that I watch that has only like Amazon or AliExpress type babies because that's all they can afford. And if that's what they can afford, then that's what they need to buy. Because that's a total different topic. But I have watched channels and listened to how they felt about things, about different brands, or only wanting reborns, or only wanting authentic babies, and only, you know, and let that influence me to the place that I sold what I had, or what I want, you know, I sold some of what I had, and then later regretted that I sold it, because I allowed peer pressure to cause me to do something I really didn't want to do. Okay, Macy, you're going to have to get down, baby. There's not enough room up here. I'll get you in a minute, okay? Mama, get you in a minute, all right? You want me to put this baby down and hold you? Okay, let me set her down over here. All right, guys, I got to change babies. I got to change babies here. Okay, come on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. See? It's not big enough for both of us. You fail. You fail it's not big enough for both of us. Okay, so I am the type of person that I like all kind of dolls. When I was a kid, I loved dolls. Mama bought me dolls every birthday and Christmas, just about it, and I loved dolls. But then, after I got older, as a teenager, then you started getting rid of your younger toys and your toys and stuff, and I got rid of all of my dolls. And I think it was 2018 is when I started collecting dolls. So that's what, 4 years? 18, 19. It's after we moved in this house. Yeah. And we've only been in this house for 4 years. So I've only been collecting for the past 4 years. But when I started collecting, it became something I love. I totally love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now, personally, I don't, at times I get overwhelmed whenever I feel like I've got to give every one of these babies attention. Not every day, but, I rotate them. And I get to the point I feel like I have got, too many dolls because it takes too long to get back to one because I rotate them, and I've got to give them everyone the same amount of attention. And so sometimes I do get overwhelmed with the amount of dolls I have. I have at this point 87 dolls that I've collected, and I've sold some and rebought and sold some and rebought through the years. But in 4 years at this point, I have 87 dolls. Now, that's a variety. That's not all reborns. I only have 30-something reborns. I only have 30-something reborns. But I have Ashton Drake. I have Paradise Galleries. I have Cabbage Patch now that I've just recently, in the past couple of weeks, started collecting. I have Amazon dolls. I have an old baby doll, just a regular baby doll. I have monkey dolls. I have no one certain type of doll. I have got, since I started collecting, I got to the place that I love dolls. Just love them. Any kind of dolls, I love them. At one point, I had American Girl dolls. I got rid of all of them. I do have my American Girl type doll from Ashton Drake. I had Our Generation. I had Journey Girl. And then those Disney, the little 14-inch Disney dolls. I had those that ended up selling all of them from peer pressure. But I'll listen to people talk about, how they collect and what they do. And then I'll get to thinking, well, that's the way I'm supposed to do it. So then I'll say, okay, I'm going to start selling this or that or another and get rid of it and later regret that I did that. And see, this is nothing to do it's along the line, but it's not what I was thinking on in my mind this morning that I wanted to talk about. But anyway, personally, I would love to have dolls everywhere, all through my house. I'm running out of space in my nursery. So, in order to be able to get into the drawers and things and closets to be able to get to the clothing to change the babies, I can't just put out anymore. I'm just running out of space. But personally, I would love to start putting them in the living room, but I won't do it because, well, peer pressure. My children, people that come over. My husband's very supportive, but I don't think he really likes the babies in the living room. I just won't do it. I've got to stop. Now, I'm collecting Cabbage Patch, and I'm trying to clear out the craft stuff that I'm not going to be using anymore in my craft part of my washroom, craft room. And I'm going to put my Cabbage Patch on the shelves in there until I fill that up, and then I'll have to stop. But I'm at the place that I've got to stop because of room. And also, since hubby's semi-retired, um, I don't have the money I did have before. So I've got to stop because of that too. But as far as me, I would love to just have dolls. I'd love to just line them around my living room. I'd love to have dolls everywhere. But I've got to consider other people. You know, my husband lives here too. And that's not his thing. You know, he's supportive of me, but that's not his thing. And I have, like I said, I have let peer pressure cause me to sell dolls or to not, you know, maybe get a certain doll because of the way other people feel. And like the incident that happened last Sunday that I told y'all about. I told my husband, I said, I'm just going to get rid of all my dolls. I'm just going to get rid of everything. I'm just going to, you know. And that wasn't the thing to do. But I let peer pressure direct me sometimes to do things that later I regret doing. And I was just wondering, how do you feel? Do you think you can have too many dolls? Do you feel overwhelmed when you get a certain amount of dolls? Do you feel like that you have to give your dolls equal amount of attention? You know, like I rotate mine. I give them all. You know, it may take me a month and a half to get back around to the first one, but I rotate them. You know, how do you feel? And guys, I wished I'd have wrote down what I was thinking earlier, because I had a whole lot more in my mind, and I know this is nothing of what I was thinking earlier. I mean, it was on the same lines, but it wasn't what I was thinking earlier. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me and why I can't keep things in my mind. And so this has probably been a boring day because I didn't have my thoughts in order, and kind of just been everywhere with what I'm saying, and it's probably been boring, and I'm really sorry that it is. But that's what I said. I was also going to talk about, you know, I've let peer pressure determine whether I do a certain amount of videos a day, or if I don't get a video up, then I feel pressured that I'm supposed to get it up. If I want to do 3 videos or more a day, then I feel peer pressure that that's not what I'm supposed to do, that people only want to see 1 video a day from you. But hey, it's YouTube. It's there. You don't have to watch it all in that same day, just because I put it up the same day. You can watch it at your leisure. So what does it matter how many I put up in one day? You don't have to watch them all that same day. But I let that peer pressure drive me to do things different than I really would like to do them. I want to be able to freely do my videos as my body, my health will allow it. If I'm having a good enough day to do 3 videos, or 4, or however many, 2, however many, 1, whatever I'm able to do and desire to do that day, I want to be able to freely do it without peer pressure, without feeling. And, you know, a lot of times it's not the people that's putting that pressure on you. It's just that you see that, you watch them, you see how they do it, and you think you've got to do it that way. It's not that they're saying anything to you, giving you that peer pressure. It's just, for some reason, we think we have to do things exactly like everybody else does it. And then we get peer pressure if we don't. And I want to be free. Because my channel, I started it for the community. I started it to share my dolls with you, share my hobby with you, and to see what you do. I did it for enjoyment. So if I enjoy doing 3 videos a day, why shouldn't I do 3 videos a day? Why should I allow peer pressure cause me not to do 3 videos a day? If I'm having an extra bad day and I don't feel like doing a video, my want is I want to put up at least 1 video every day. That's what I want to do. But there's sometimes it doesn't work that way. There's sometimes I'm feeling too bad and I'm hurting or whatever, and I just don't feel like changing a baby or talking, so I just don't feel like putting up a video. So therefore, if I don't get a video up, even though maybe it's a theme that I do every week, but if it's on that day that I'm not feeling well, I don't want to feel that pressure that, oh, this is the theme, I've got to do it. I want to do it for enjoyment, not out of that I have to. Because when you get to the place that you have to do it, then it's not enjoyment anymore. So I want to be able to freely make my videos as I'm able and as I feel like, however many or none at all on a day, any one given day. So how do you, what I'm wanting is to hear your discussion. And even though you discuss it and you may do it totally different and feel totally different than I do about how many dolls you have, about the peer pressure of doing the videos, even though you may feel totally different than me, I still want to hear your opinion, either through video or through, you commenting in the comments. I want to hear your opinion. But I don't want to allow that opinion. I want to hear it, and it may guide me in some areas. But I don't want it to cause peer pressure that I have to do it your way. You understand what I'm saying? And I want to know how you feel. Do you allow peer pressure? After I say, for example, after I've talked about a topic, does it cause peer pressure? Do you allow peer pressure to drive you to do something in a way that maybe you really didn't want to do it that way? I don't know. I've always been influenced by other people and things like that. I've always felt like, okay, YouTube is YouTube and you make 1 video a day because vloggers make 1 video a day, and that's it. Or every other day or however they put them up. But it's only 1 a day. And so that's always been the thing. You just make 1 video a day. Well, there's some days that there's extra things that happen that I want to share with you. I don't want to do just 1. I want to do, I want to share everything that comes in. And if I've made a video and something else happens that I want to share with you, I don't want to have to wait till tomorrow to do that video, I want to go ahead and share it with you. You don't have to watch it today. You can wait till tomorrow to watch it. But I want to go ahead and get it up while it's fresh and I'm excited and, whatever it is. And so I probably haven't made a bit of sense. I really feel like I have made no sense today. I really do feel like I feel like I have talked in circles and that I have not made a bit of sense and that I've talked about several things but not come to a conclusion of one certain thing. Macy, this chair is not big enough, baby. This is my new Cabbage Patch doll that my sweet friend Deb sent me that I put up a video about last night. She's so sweet. And she smells so good. She has such a awesome smell. kind of fruity type smells. Smells so good. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry if I haven't made any sense. I'm just, like I said, it's just one of my natural days of just foggy brained, and you know, I'm not feeling bad enough that I couldn't make a video, but I may not have made any sense in what I've said. I'm sorry. And the video's long. It's 40 minutes. Sorry. And by the time I get off here, it'd probably be 45 minutes. So, anyway, again, you don't have to watch it all in one setting. Watch what you can now and come back to it later and watch the rest. But yes, I would love to hear how you feel about, can you have too many dolls? Do you feel like you have to interact with every one of them on a regular basis? You know, real quick, it's probably going to be more than 45 minutes. At one point, I have a baby bed, and at one point, I did want to just kind of, you know, 2 or 3 dolls was fine. You know, I wanted to be able to act like it was a baby, you know, lay it in the baby bed, change its clothes, you know, treat it like it was a baby. No, I'm not crazy, but, you know, I want to kind of have like a role play with them. But when you get so many, it's hard to do that. You can't do that so much. Or I can't. I don't know how to do it that way, like I had in mind I wanted to do. Kind of have a baby that, you know, like it was my baby. It was my everyday baby. It was my baby, you know, and that's kind of what I had in mind. But then I didn't want just one doll when I started out. I seen another one and another and another. And like I said, I've ended up having 87. Not all reborns, but I've ended up with 87 dolls. But just tell me how your collecting is. What I mean is, did you, I don't know how to put it. Like I said, I wanted one certain baby to be my baby, everyday baby to, you know, role play with. Did you want it that way when you started collecting, or did you just like the dolls and want to collect them and just, you know, change them casually? I hope I'm making sense. I don't feel like I am. But just tell me your opinion of how you collect. What I mean is, do you role play? Do you have a doll that you act like it's your baby? Or do you just collect them as objects that's beautiful and that you change their clothes every now and then? Do you feel like you have to interact with every one of them on a regular basis? Do you allow peer pressure to cause you to do things that you don't normally, or that you wouldn't normally want to do, that you would regret later? If you don't mind, I'd love to hear your opinion. I'd love to hear it in a video. But you can just comment below if you don't do videos or don't want to do a video on it. Yeah, because I really would love to know your opinion on this. All right, guys, I'm going to try not to let it go over 45 minutes. Please forgive me if I've just rambled and hadn't made any sense, because I really feel like my mind is jumbled today and that I haven't made a bit of sense. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here and get this video uploaded for you. And I love my Cabbage Patch. I don't treat them like I do my Reborns, or my Paradise Galleries, or my Ashton Drake, or my Amazon Reborn, lifelike type dolls. They're I do snuggle with them, but they're just dolls to me. They're not like, I treat the others sort of like real babies, you know. But I still love them. I still love them. I love my little Cabbage Patch. Why? You know, I was saying, yeah, it's going to be over 45 minutes. I had said yesterday, you know, when I was opening her, that I didn't have any when I was a kid and I didn't know why. Well, I do know why now. Because I went and did some research on them. They didn't have Cabbage Patch when I was little. They didn't have them that I know of. It looks to me like they were started in the 70s. Either 70s or 80s. I can't remember exactly. But back when I was a little kid, they didn't have Cabbage Patch. That I haven't seen no later date than that. If I'm wrong, because I know very little about Cabbage Patch. If I'm wrong, please correct me. If you know anything about Cabbage Patch, when did Cabbage Patch get started? Was it in the 70s, the 80s? Was it before that? Because if it was in the 60s, if it wasn't in the 60s and early 70s, that's why I didn't have any Cabbage Patch dolls, because they didn't have them. So let me know if you know when Cabbage Patch started. Let me know. I'd love to know for sure. But the research I found, if I'm not mistaken, they started in the late 70s, early 80s. So that's why I didn't have Cabbage Patch. All right, guys. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I love you all so much. I love interacting with y'all. You are my family. You are my only interaction that I have with people that loves what I love. I have no one near me that likes my hobby of dolls. So you are my family, and I appreciate every time you watch one of my videos, every time you comment, every time you hit that like button. I appreciate everyone that hits that subscribe button. Y'all just mean the world to me. And even my viewers that don't have a channel, that can't comment, because my knowledge is if you don't have a channel, then you can't comment under people's videos. So if you watch my videos but you don't have a channel and can't comment, I still appreciate you. Even though I don't know, definitely that you're there, I still appreciate you watching my videos. I know my good friend that sent me this baby, she doesn't have a channel. She watches my videos because she can watch them. She just can't comment because she don't have a channel. But she interacts. Instead of a comment under the video, she sends me a message through Messenger. So, because we're both on Facebook, so I hear from her that way. And I just love every one of you. I thank you so much. And I'm gone, guys. I've taken too much of your time already. Please, if you want, I say please because I'd love for you to. I really would love for you to. But no peer pressure. No pressure, guys. Don't let me peer pressure you. Just because I want you to, don't let it pressure you. But I would love to hear your opinion on what I've talked about today. If I made any sense that you can talk about it. All right, guys. Talk with you later. Love you. Bye. Sorry, guys. I'm back. I said I was going to shout out the channel at the end of the video, and I forgot. Again, go to my Reborn Nursery. It's Tammy. And go over there. Check her out. See if she's a channel you would like to watch. If you're not already subscribed to her, subscribe to her. Let her know I sent you over. And for no particular reason, just because that's what I said. Just simply because that's what come to mind to say. It's not going to help me or her. It's going to help her to get more subscribers. But you telling her I sent you is not going to help either one of us either way. It's just something I said. But anyway, go check her out. Her link will be in the description. Now I'm gone.